Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you to everybody who's listening in the podcast. It is Tuesday, August 13, 2024. I needed to come here and make a video about this incident that happened regarding some employees in a dentist's office. Okay, but before I continue, I want to say thank you to everybody who has been subscribing on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much to everybody who follows the podcast on Spotify. Really means a lot. Thank you to all the Apple Podcast listeners. Thank you so much. And if you are new here, please follow me on Spotify and also please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I do apologize. I'm searching for something here. I just wanted to come here, you guys, and speak about this because there's a video out there in case you haven't noticed of a dentist office. Every human, right, goes to the dentist. I think if you don't go, and people can, some people don't go, I guess it depends where they live, if that's even available to them. But, if you don't go, you either have really good teeth health, but eventually at some point in your life, you will go to a dentist's office and you will be vulnerable. When people go inside your mouth and they do things, and they're checking for things. And I know when you get to like a certain age, the wisdom tooth come out and things like that. So at some point, everybody has to go to the dentist. And in that moment, right, it's like going to the doctor's office. In that moment, when we are so vulnerable, right, it's probably one of my biggest fears, to be vulnerable and then to have somebody use that against you, right? It's so crazy, but it happens, these days. The Bible says in the last days, the love of many will grow cold. This is the society that we're living in right now, right? People these days, they don't even want to do a job, right? They just want to get paid and they don't care. Basically, everybody's, going around by saying, it's not my job. I don't care. I don't like it here. Then if you have that mentality walking into a job, saying things in your mind like, I don't like it, I hate the clientele, I hate what I do here, then you should be effectively looking to leave or just quitting. Like, you shouldn't be there. There's so many people out there looking for work. So if it's not the thing that you want to do, you should just leave, right? The times, that I found myself thinking negative about some type of job that I was doing, I was like, let me leave before it gets worse, because it's not good for anybody. It's not good for me to show up with that mentality. It's not good. I feel like I'm betraying my employer by thinking this way. So I shouldn't be here. This is just common sense. If you don't like it, you shouldn't be there, right? In anything, right? So I just wanted to tell you about what happened. But before I also continue, I do have the window open, so you might hear some noises. So, it's so sad because I'm trying to search for the article. This dentist office it happened in Tennessee, right? And a lady went to the dentist, to her regular appointment to an office in Tennessee. As we all know, we go to the doctor's office, we go to the dentist's office. Usually there's a time that you have to wait. And if you don't want to read or be on your phone, you usually will bring something with you to read, right? So this lady brought her diary, and apparently she had left it, I guess you can say, in the reception area, right? But she didn't, she left it there. Nobody noticed until like last time, and I mean into the closing time. So it was found, but the professional way to handle this would have been, oh, so and so, call back the customer, say, we found your diary in the reception area. We're going to keep it here. Just stop by tomorrow or within this week to pick it up, right? And you put that in a safe lock so that nobody have access to it. I think, I work retail, I work in doctor's office too. So I know a lot of procedures and things that happen. And just out of morality, right, as a human being, you will want, hey, it's like if you lose your wallet in New York or something, you pray and hope that somebody will find that wallet and save it and call the police, or call your number, find your number from the wallet, or your address, or mail it back to you. You expect somebody as human kindness to do the right thing for you, right? Because we're so vulnerable, it could happen to anybody. So the right thing would have been like to find something that's a customer, a clientele that went there to get service. You find what they lost. You call the patient back and you say, we found it, we put it in a safe lock, and it's ready for you to come tomorrow within whatever day you're available within our working hours to pick it up. That would have been the most moral, ethical, professional way to handle things. But, we live in a society now that people forget that they have families, right? They forget that, it's a rotating, circle that it's like, first of all, by the way, everything is being recorded, right? And this video became viral of these employees reading the diary of this patient and making fun of it, right? And not only that, but like the diary is about somebody who's dealing with cancer. Like, one thing is to read a diary that speaks about groceries, or like somebody watching a hot TV show or something, right? And they're commenting about, oh, this happened on the Real Housewife or whatever, right? But to read personal thoughts and comments about somebody that you met, right, that went to that office to get service, to be vulnerable with you, right? Who you probably, because flattery is the thing now. You probably know her face. You know who she is. You probably, people say, oh, hang in there, things like that, right? And then they find your personal diary about your life struggle, and not only that, but like your battle with cancer, and they're gonna make a video laughing about it. Like, talk about the lowest of the low morality here. Like, who raised these people? That out of everybody, you can see in the video at least three professional adults, right? Because to work in offices like that, you need some type of education, right? Professional adults that none of them say, wait a second, you reading that person's diary? Don't do that. And like, not only that, but like, she also has cancer. Like, start talking about cancer. Like, you need to stop, and you need to stop recording. None of them say, wait a second, red flag, right? This is an alert. Stop doing that. And the thing is, like, this whole evidence of what happened, this is how crazy the world is right now. There are people who will look at that and be like, they don't really mean anything by it, because these days people make excuse for grown adults. People will put their hand in fire for grown adults instead of saying, that's a very strange behavior. I've never seen them behave like that. I'm so sorry that happened to you. But these days, people think they're inside people's head, and they will make excuses and be like, they don't mean it. Don't take it like that. Even if they have the proof and say, here, they're making fun of somebody's diary, right? Their personal thoughts and thinking, and their cancer issues that they're having with such a big, traumatic thing that they're going through in their life right now. People will look at that and be like, they're young kids. They don't mean it like that. Like, are you inside people's head to know exactly what they meant when they say something? Like I said, people will make excuse for full grown adults these days. Nobody wants to say, that's a very, I never seen them behave like that. I'm so sorry that happened to you. People will be like, you need to, they don't know that. They're good people, right? That's what they say. They don't mean that, right? Because I'm sure now, so they're saying the employees got fired, they got terminated, and people will be like, oh, this is being blown out of proportion. I'm sure people will say that, right? Like I said, like, you think you're going to go to Judgment Day and you're going to be like, hey, God, I'm here, and I have 10 of my big followers who will speak on my behalf. Like, on Judgment Day, it's just you by yourself, FYI, right? And, so I think people need to see things for what they are and know that you might not experience every person. Somebody might be super nice to you, and they might be super rude to somebody else, right? Because people pick and choose who they like. So maybe if somebody comes to you and says, this happened to me, maybe you shouldn't be putting your hand on fire for somebody without even knowing like what was in that person's mind when they say what they said, right? because like you don't know people's heart, right? Right? Like there are things that people do to other people and not to you personally, right? They pick and choose who they want to be nice to and who they don't want to be nice to. So let me read to you briefly what happened here, right? A shocking video circulating on social media has exposed a staff member at a Knoxville, Tennessee dental office for I can't pronounce that word, excuse me, for marking a cancer patient private diary while reading it aloud. Okay, the footage, which appeared to have been recorded and shared online, you can see employees giggling, right? A member of Premier Dental Group in Knoxville reading passages from the patient's journal to nearby colleagues. The video shows employees laughing at the patient's thoughts on different treatment options and concerns about various procedures. Like, are you serious? Like I said, if you tell me they're reading somebody groceries list and you can be like, oh my goodness, can you believe they're gonna buy 2 bags of potatoes? Like that's crazy or something. That's also still very bad, right? But not only to find like to read somebody's diary, like are you serious? And to continue to read it and to know that this lady speaking about her battle with cancer and to continue to laugh about it, not only that, to record it. Imagine the things that these people do when the camera is not rolling, because that is the lowest of the low, right? When it comes to like having some type of empathy for anybody, right? Imagine what has not been recorded. Like I said, these days people they just want to get a paycheck. They want to remove empathy out of their work without realizing that we all need each other, okay? You might think we as humans, we all learn different traits and we all need each other, okay? We need to go to the dentist's office and we need a mechanic and we need a doctor. And it's a rotating thing of everybody learns a trait because we all need each other to survive, right? And it's just so crazy how, like, out of everybody who was in that little space, right, in the manager's office, who sees them recording it, right, who know and very aware that the diary was found, who know who the patient is, right, and they're gonna read the diary, make a video, mockery video out of it, and know out of all these grown adults, professional adults, is gonna say, what are we doing here? What are you guys doing? And like I said, people will look at that, make excuses, and be like, oh, they're young kids. This, because like I said, people who are in those positions, they're like, they go through education, they go to training, they're professional adults. Don't ever say they don't mean that if you didn't experience that. Because you know what, like I said, people pick and choose who they want to be nice to. So you have to go beyond that. This is crazy. I feel so bad that this lady experienced this, but this is shedding a light on, I guess you can say medical office and how vulnerable we all are and the state of society these days. By the way, this is a huge HIPAA violation. HIPAA is the law against dispersing any medical information regarding a patient to the public, right? Information about a patient is only between the patient and the doctor and any medical staff that's needed to access that information to help the patient. But this is a full-on mockery caught on video, thanks be to God, right? Because we are, once again, in the year of exposure, right? Who would have thought these people went to work, everything, they're just doing work as normal, right? Probably they never thought that this was going to be viral. Now they don't have a job, especially in this economy, right? Not only that, but to fall like this, that shows the lack of empathy, the lack of morals, and it makes you wonder, wow, like, people have no fear of the Lord. people like are losing the fear of the Lord for them to just be okay with something like this, right? To see somebody struggling and dealing with something, not only to that, to have something that belongs to that person that you have no permission, okay, to read it. And it's not, and like, you know who that person is too, because she's a patient in your practice. And for you to make it public like that, you just thinking, like, I'm just thinking, God have mercy. Have mercy, Lord God. This is the year of exposure, guys, so everything will come to light. Let me know, guys, what you guys think about this. Thank you so much once again for coming back to my channel. Thank you to everybody who follows me on Spotify. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.